Compression Studio, and I welcome you to your mat today for another yoga half. So 30 minutes of yoga practice for you today, and for today's yoga half, we're going to be focusing on a certain muscle, kind of focused flow, I should say. So we're going to be focusing on our ankles, our feet, our wrists, and our hands, kind of things, areas that we don't get to pay attention to a lot. We use them a lot. We're always standing on our feet, we're always using our hands and typing, texting, all sorts of ways. Yeah, this is going to kind of allow you to love on those areas that you may not realize that you don't get to love on very much. And you can be surprised, maybe as you go through your flow, how much you're able to release tension in those areas that you just didn't realize that you had. And so with that, we'll be working on some mobility range as well as strengthening and stretching. So as always, this is your practice, so please do you. If you come across anything that's too intense, back off, feel free to take a break, take water when you need. This is your practice, and especially with you being at home, I take no offense. I'm here to guide you and hold space. So please listen to your body, and it's a yoga practice, not yoga perfect. Take modifications when you need, and or challenge yourself when you're feeling called to challenge yourself. I'll offer variations and modifications throughout where I can, and try to allow yourself to play and see what works for your body. And I guess I'll leave it at that, and let's get started. So today we'll start in an easy seat. So come onto your mat, find an easy seat with your legs crisscrossed here. Lengthen the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Relax the shoulders down and back. Maybe bring your palms to just relax into your lap with palms face up to receive. And then close your eyes here. When you're ready, start to tune into your breath, tuning inward into your body, and preparing your space on your mat for your practice today. With each exhale, just start to release any energy that doesn't serve you, that you don't want to take on your mat, that you just can leave for the past. It's in the past, right? So find a big inhale and exhale. Just release a little more of that. Let's find one more like that as we inhale. Really feel the lungs expand. Feel that life feeling breathed in. And then exhale. Just really let it all go. Let's bring our hands to stack on top of our heart as we inhale here, sealing up the lips if you haven't done so already, breathing in through the nose, and exhale that same breath out through the nose. Slow and controlled. Inhale, dragging that breath through the back of the throat, sipping a little more air at the top. As you exhale, slow, controlled, back out the nose. Tuning into the power of our breath here as we inhale and exhale. Start to flow through this breath on your own, so continue it as you inhale and exhale. And on your next inhale, I want you to choose an intention for this half hour, for this time on your mat. Maybe it's a word or a phrase that inspires you. Maybe it's something as simple as breath or surrendering. And as you exhale, find a release of any expectation that you may hold for this intention. So let's do one more like that as we inhale, clarify that intention, bring it into your mind. And then exhale, just release any expectation you have for how it may serve you, surrender to it. One more silent breath here to seal in the start of your practice. Inhale and exhale. Releasing our hands down into the lap. Go ahead and gently flutter open those eyes, bringing your awareness back into the room. Staying into your seat, let's bring our hands to grab for those knees. So flip those palms down as we inhale. Start to pull your chest through, squeezing into the shoulder blades. Gaze up, finding your seated cat-cow. Exhale, round in the shoulders, tuck the chin, suck the belly towards spine. Inhale, pull that chest through, gaze up, lift up, find that baby arch. As you exhale, use your hands on your knees, really round, pressing your chin towards your chest, belly towards spine. Let's find one more. Inhale, scoop it through, gaze up, maybe a bigger arch, squeezing the shoulder blades. Exhale, round, tap the chin. Let's inhale, come on back to center. Let's take our right hand and bring it to the lower back. So I'm gonna turn around so you can see a little better. Bring that right hand to the low of the back. Bring your left hand to grab for that right hand. Kind of pull that right arm over a little bit. So you're gonna feel that right shoulder drop down. And then inhale, lengthen up through the spine, so really reach the crown of the head up. As you exhale, drop your left ear to that left shoulder. Deepening that stretch through the right side of your neck. As we inhale and exhale a little bit deeper. Being careful, listening to your body. On your next inhale, let's lift up, release, shake those hands and switch sides. So bringing our left arm at the low of the back, grabbing for that left hand with your right hand, pull that arm a little bit more over, really just pulling that left shoulder down, feeling that stretch into the neck. As we inhale, exhale, drop your right ear towards your right shoulder, stretching and deepening into that left side of the neck. Find an inhale, exhale, deepen into this. Let's inhale, lift on back up, release, shake those arms out, and then roll over your knees, coming into a tabletop. So finding your tabletop here, planting your knees hip-width distance, palms underneath your shoulders, shoulder-width distance. Let's spread our fingers wide, find that strong tabletop position first, so really suck the navel towards your spine, flat back, gaze is neutral towards the mat. And then let's flip our fingertips out towards the edges of our mat, forearms, wrists are facing each other. From here, let's start to rock back and forth. Then maybe you try rocking side to side, just working into those wrists. So again, loving on our wrists, our fingers, our feet, and our ankles today. So find some rocks right and left. And then maybe you take some circles around those wrists to the right and to the left. Just doing what feels good here to find that stretch into the wrists. And then find your center. Let's walk those fingers back forward as we curl under the toes, plant our toes down, and then we're going to walk our hands back to our knees. So sitting our hips back onto those toes. It's going to be pretty intense. So if you happen to have a yoga block by you and want to place it under your hips for a little bit of less off of the toes, like a little bit of support there, feel free. But see if you can sit back into those toes and really stretch into those toes. We don't often get to love on our toes as much. If you need to take a break, feel free, but see if you can sit those hips back, really sink into those toes. Let's distract ourselves here. Bring our hands out in front of us. Take our right hand, and we're going to massage the pads of our left hand here. So the pads kind of underneath those knuckles, and just massage your hand. Kind of distract yourself with a little hand massage. As we sit into those toes, remembering to breathe. Feeling good on the left hand, let's switch hands, massaging into the right pads and those knuckles. Finding your breath here, remembering to breathe, almost there. And then finishing out, let's go ahead and shake those hands out as we bring them down to the mat, gently releasing our toes, and then give those feet a little pat onto the mat. Let's walk our feet towards each other and our knees towards each other. So we're going to sit back onto those hips. Our knees are bent underneath us. Finding that hero's pose. We're going to work into a little mobility here, working into those ankles. So what I want you to do is bring your hands kind of back behind you. Start to, with your tops of the feet flat, so make sure your tops of the feet are flat. Start to lean back into those hips, kind of lifting those knees as much as you can off the mat. Noticing that stretch down the front side of the ankle. Kind of lifting in the front side of the shins. Let's find an inhale. And then let's exhale, start to rock those knees back to the mat as we come forward, planting into the palms. Lift our hips, curl under the toes, and then start to lift the knees as we walk back to plant the heels down. So you're just going to walk and kind of try to sit those heels down so your feet are flat, or as flat as you can. Try to press those heels It's okay if you're up here, just try to press those heels down. Yeah. And then let's inhale, start to roll forward, really stretching into those toes, lowering those knees nice and flat. Slow and controlled. Untuck the toes, lay the feet flat. Let's go through this one more time as we lift those shins up, stretching into the shins, the front of the ankles, leaning into our hips and into our hands by our hips. Then let's rock on forward, drop those knees, bring our hands in front of those knees as we lift the hips, curl into the toes. Then start to rock back, lifting the knees, rocking those hips back, maybe walking our hands back to sit those heels down. Trying to see if we can find our stability here, working into that Achilles stretch, pressing that heel towards the earth. Then let's rock it forward to place our knees down to the mat, release our feet, and then maybe you find your tabletop to give your feet one more little pat out. Let's bring our hands slightly in front of our shoulders, spread through the fingers, curl under our toes, inhale, start to lift the knees. As we exhale, press those hips high and back. Find your downward facing dog here. Start to walk it out right and left. So noticing your downward dog, spread into those fingertips, really round through the shoulders, away from your ears. Press those hips high as you press your chest towards the thighs. Knees bend as much as they need here, and then over time, work them out straighter and straighter as you work your heels towards the earth. Gazing up towards the top of your mat, start to take big steps up, finding the top of your mat, forward folds, bending over the knees. Ragdoll, so take those feet hip width distance, bend those knees as much as you need here, let your whole upper body relax. Hands hang heavy down to the mat, or maybe you bend those elbows and grab for your elbow pits. Just relax your whole upper body down over those thighs. Maybe play with your balance, rocking from the right foot into the left. Release any tension from your neck. So shake your head no. No to any of those negative thoughts that may come creeping in for this time, for today. Shake your head yes. Yes to all the good things that can come in a day that I have ahead of me for today. And then coming back to center, let's release our hands down to the mat and walk those feet to touch. As we slowly start to roll up, rise up, one vertebrae at a time. Head last rise, shoulders relax down and back. Finding your mountain pose, relaxing those shoulders down and back, palms face forward, strong and straight through the spine. Really squeeze into the inner thighs and slightly tuck that pelvis. Strong and straight through your whole body here. Let's inhale, circle, sweep arms up, reach up. As we exhale, palms heart center. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up, reach up. This time, plant into that left foot as we pick up our right knee. Bending 90 degrees, finding our one-legged mountain pose or one-legged Tadasana. If it's better for you to bring your hands to heart center for your balance, you can have that option as well, but try to keep that knee bent. Really working to hug that knee towards your chest, strong through the core. So straight and strong through the body. And then let's point the toes, start to rotate that ankle to the right. And to the left. If you lose your balance, that's totally okay. Just work on rotating into that ankle. Ooh, I'm losing my balance all over the place. And then let's come back to center. As we flex into that foot once more, let's inhale, circle, sweep, arms up, reach up. As we exhale, let your left hand drop to that right knee, right hand drops behind you. Find a twist, pulling that right knee towards your center as you twist, right hand back. Lengthen through the spine, exhale, twist. Let's inhale, come on back to center. As we exhale, release our foot down, release our hands, give it a shake. And then take your right toes, curl the toes under, and just kind of roll out your knuckles here. So kind of roll back and forth. Again, one of those areas we don't often show enough love. So we're always standing on them. And then coming to center, let's find other side. So plant into your feet. Just take a notice here how that right side feels compared to that left side. Are you feeling a little bit more grounded into that right foot versus the left side? So let's find our standing posture here, standing Tadasana. Let's inhale, circle, sweep arms up, reach up, plant into that right foot, ground down as we pick up that left Find our one-legged mountain pose, flexing into the foot, knee 90-degree bend.
Bring the palms to heart center if that is better for your balance. Ooh. Find that strong standing mountain pose, bending that knee towards the chest. Then let's point the toes, circle out the ankle, going to the right. It helps if you're noticing your challenge in your balance to find a drishti, a focal point in the room that doesn't move. Find your gaze, fixate on it. If you haven't rotated your ankle the opposite direction, let's switch there. Finding your center. As we inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Exhale, reach right hand to that left knee. Reach left hand behind you. Find your standing twist here, pulling that left knee towards the center. As you twist your left hand back, lengthen on your inhale through the spine. Exhale, twist. Let's inhale, reach those hands back to center. Drop our left foot to meet the right. Release our hands down, shimmy and shake it out. Now plant our weight to our right foot. Let's roll out the left toes now. So curl under those toes, kind of place them on the mat, and then roll out right and left. Once again, noticing how our feet might be feeling after we show them some love. And then let's come on back to center. Just take a moment here, really ground into the feet. Relax the hands down by you, finding your mountain pose. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up, reach up. As we exhale, palms to your heart center, forward folds. Inhale, halfway lift. As we exhale, plant the palms down, step the feet back, finding your plank pose. So stack your shoulders over your wrists, really spread into the fingers, round into the shoulders, strong through the core. You always have the option to drop your knees. You can stay here holding your plank and meet us in down dog, or let's shift forward. If you've dropped your knees, or stay high as we exhale, lower, down halfway, find that modified or full chaturanga, squeeze those elbows in, inhale, scoop the chest through, tops of the feet flat, either pressing up out of the shoulders, coming straight for upward facing dog, or finding that modified baby cobra. And then let's exhale, roll over toes, we all meet, hips high, create that V shape with your body, downward facing dog. Give it a walk out, right and left. Let's go ahead and inhale, shift forward, drop those knees to the mat. Knees are hip width distance. Walk your hands back to those knees as you lift up, stacking your shoulders on top of the hips. Let's inhale, circle, sweep arms up, reach up. As we exhale, palms to our center. See if you can bring your weight to that left knee as we pick up our right foot and just stamp it out to the side. So you may need to just pick it up to the front and then bring it out to the side. Your toes are going to be pointed forward, your heels pointed back. Let's inhale, circle, sweep, arms up, reach up. On our exhale, right hand goes down that right leg. Reach through the left fingertips. Exhale, stretch it over towards the right. Find that nice side stretch down the left side. As we inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lean into that right foot on the floor. Stretch. Inhale, reach up and lengthen. Keeping your right foot where it's at, let's bring our palms to your heart center, bringing our hands down to the mat. So our shoulders stack over our palms, our right foot is still out, nice to the side. Staying here, start to rock back and forth. So rocking into that right hip. As much or as little feels good, and rock, trying to keep that right foot planted down so you're working into the ankle as well. So find a few more, rocking back and forth. Let's go ahead and find our center here as we start to walk keeping our hands where they're at. Let's go ahead and pick our right leg up, bend that knee in, and plant it down. It's a little easier way to get there. So let's walk our hands back up, stacking our hips and our shoulders on top of the knees. So find the other side as we inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Exhale, palms to our center. Let's plant or bring our weight to our right knee as we start to lift either that right foot out in front of us and then kick it out straight, or maybe you just lift it up, kick it out. Planting into that foot, toes forward, heel back. Let's inhale, circle, sweep arms up, reach up. As we exhale, left hand goes down that left leg. Reach through the fingertips. And exhale, stretch it over towards the left. Finding that side stretch here, trying to stack those shoulders. So notice if you're leaning over that right shoulder. Find an inhale, exhale, lean into it. Let's inhale, bring those hands back up as we exhale, palms through heart center. Planting the hands down to the mat, shoulders stack over the hands. So noticing here how it feels to rock back and forth into those hips. Try to plant that foot down, that left foot, so you're working into the ankle as well. So rock back and forth. Let's do one more. Finding our way back to center, plant into those palms. Let's go ahead and lift that knee back and place it to our tabletop. So find our way into our tabletop. Plant into those palms as we inhale, reach our right leg behind us. Exhale, step our right foot outside that right palm and start to lean your hips forward. So finding our low lizards here. Just open into that hip, relaxing your hips towards the mat. As you open through this right knee, so let that right knee just drop out to the side, maybe coming onto the edge of your right foot. You can stay lifted onto the palms, try to relax your head down, really press out of those shoulders. Notice if you're kind of sinking into the shoulders. Find your breath here. If it's in your practice, you can always maybe take it down onto the forearms, bringing those elbows out a little wider so you can relax the chest down. Find your breath here. You always have the option to deepen by bringing the hand to your right knee and really opening up out to the side. Find one more breath. So I'll make our way. So if you're on your forearms, let's lift up onto the palms. Gently start to bring those hips slightly back so you can lift our right leg and bring it back into a tabletop. Take a little movement right and left into the hips. And then come to center before we switch to the other side. Find your palms underneath your shoulders, really spread into the fingertips. And start to just rock back and forth. So rocking slightly over those palms, really trying to keep the pads of the palms down and rock back. Working into those wrists a little more here. Let's come to center, find that tabletop, presses the palms around to the shoulders. Inhale, left leg reaches behind. As we exhale, step it to the outside of that left hand. And then start to let the hips sink towards the mat, finding a lizard's pose on this side. Letting that left knee drop out, opening into the hip. Maybe you open onto the edge of that left foot. Let your head relax. Find your depth here, finding your inhale. Breathe into some space. As you exhale, just let those hips sink a little more. Maybe even drop down onto the forearms if that was done so on the other side. But remember, each side is going to be different. Each day is going to be different. So have compassion with yourself. See what your body is needing today. If you dropped onto the forearms, let's start to lift up onto the palms. Planting into those palms so that we can slightly shift those hips back, release our left leg back into our tabletop, and then take any movement here into the hips, right and left, that feels good. Let's go ahead and sit onto the hips so that we can shift onto our hips and legs out in front of us. So taking a moment here, really taking your legs long in front of you and then scooching any extra muscle that's underneath your hips. So you have flat sit bones on the mat. Flex into those feet. As you inhale, lengthen up through the spine, really reach up with those hands. As you exhale, start to fold it forward, reaching for maybe the toes, the feet, the ankles or calves. As you find a big stretch down the back side of the body, folding and hinging at your hips. Find your breath. Exhale, fold. Let's gently start to roll up, rise up, and lift up. As we bring our left leg out wide, so find that wide-legged seat here. So try to come as wide as you can. Again, once you're there, scooch any extra muscle that's underneath your hips. You have flat sit bones on the mat. Taking a moment, work on lifting out the crown of the head, strong through the core. Maybe from here you play with those ankles a little more, flexing and pointing the feet. Let's inhale, come back to center. As we exhale, start to walk our hands forward and see if we can hinge forward. Maybe just reaching those hands out in front of us, dropping our head and chest towards the mat. Or maybe we drop the forearms down. Maybe we're able to bring the head a little lower. Just let your whole body hinge forward into this wide-legged seat. Stretching through the inner thighs. Find your breath. Inhale. And exhale. Let's inhale, start to walk our hands back towards our hips as we lift on back up. Start to bend those knees as you bring your feet back together. Shifting around onto your mat. So you bring your feet to feet hip width distance. Scooch those hips towards the heels, heels towards the hips. Bring your arms out in front of you, palms face each other. And then slower than you want to, using your core, start to lean back, recline on back to find you're lying down on your back, arms lying down beside you, palms face down. Notice if your heels and bums push away from each other, walk those heels back in. Exhale, you're out. As you inhale, press into the heels, press into the shoulders, lift the hips up towards the sky. Find your bridge pose. Squeezing into the inner thighs, squeezing into the glutes as you lift for 3, go a little higher for 2, last lift for 1, slowly lower those hips, back down to the mat. Let's walk our feet to touch, bend those knees out wide. So your knees can bend as much or as little as feels good. To open those hips and let the earth, or let gravity do its thing and just press them down to the earth. Now from here, we're gonna give our forearms a little love. So maybe come up a little closer so you can see. So from your reclined butterfly, take your right hand to that forearm, the top of the forearm by the elbow, and kind of just start to pinch and crawl your fingers down that skin. Be careful, like don't hurt yourself, but try to just pinch and crawl, kind of massaging that forearm in a way that we don't normally do. Releasing into our connective tissue. Got this whole layer of tissue and energy and connective nerves under our skin that we don't realize if we massage. That's why massages are so beneficial. So once you're done with the left arm, switch to the right arm. And oftentimes we don't really take the time to massage on ourselves. It's so easy to. If you ever get like a little tennis ball and just give your arms a massage, give your legs a little roll. But for now, let's just pinch and walk those fingers down the forearm, just massaging into that skin. Finishing up here. And then let's go ahead, bringing our arms down beside us. Bend those knees up towards the ceiling so you can plant your feet. Release your left leg long. Bend the right knee in towards the chest and interlace the fingers around that right knee. As we inhale, create some space. Pull that knee away from your rib cage. As you exhale, hug that knee towards the armpit. Inhale. And exhale, squeeze. So activate on your inhale so you can pull that knee out away from the rib cage. And exhale, give it a squeeze towards the armpit. Now grab that right knee with your left hand as you release your right arm out to the side. Guide that right knee with your left hand across the body. So your knee drops over to the left. And you stamp your right shoulder back down to the mat. Gaze is wherever's comfortable on the neck. As you find your inhale and exhale, a little bit more depth as you let that knee drop to the earth. Finding your space and finding your depth here. Using your core, let's inhale, lift back up, give that right knee one more hug before releasing our right leg long and bending the left leg so that we grab for that left knee. Taking the moment to create some space on your inhale, pull that leg, that knee away from your rib cage, and exhale, hug it towards the armpit. So inhale, create space. Pull it towards the edge of your mat. So you exhale, squeeze it into the armpit. One more, find the space, inhale. As we exhale, find your depth, squeeze. Right hand comes to that left knee as we release our left arm out to the side. Guide your knee across the body for your supine twist here. Letting that knee drop to the earth. Try to stamp your shoulders back down to the mat. Maybe you take your gaze towards those left fingertips to exaggerate the twist. Find what works for you here. As we inhale, breathe in some space. Exhale, find your depth. Let's inhale, use our core, bring that left knee back to center, give it a hug, and then bring the right knee to meet it as we squeeze both knees in towards the chest. Release our legs at the wall, knees bend as much as they need here, feet are up towards the ceiling. Let our arms relax down beside us, maybe even close your eyes here. Scooch those shoulders away from the ears, just let the blood flow in the opposite direction here for once. We're always standing on our feet, so let them be up for once, right? Maybe you circle your ankles to the right, to the left. Again, giving those ankles some love. Bend in those toes, curl and release. Start to tune back into your breath as we close out our practice here. And as you inhale next, start to bend those knees towards the chest. Really grip for around your knees. So try to grab for a bigger grip than usual. Grabbing for your forearm, maybe your elbows. As you lift the chest and head towards your knees, knees towards your forehead. Inhale, give yourself the biggest hug for showing up for yourself today. And then exhale, release, full body stretch, reaching your fingertips long, toes long. Maybe you give them a wiggle. Take any last little movements here that feel good for you. Maybe you take any last little stretches that are calling. But then when you're ready, make your way down into your final Shavasana. Your final resting posture, aka your corpse pose. Relax your arms nice and long, palms face up to receive. Scooch those shoulders away from the ears. Let your legs just relax, nice and heavy to the mat. And then close your eyes when you're ready. Allow yourself these final moments of stillness here on your mat to just be and to just exist as you are in this moment. Come back to your breath if you notice you lost it. Bringing that awareness into your body. Noticing your inhale, lungs fill. As you exhale, just release any of those thoughts that may be bugging you or maybe causing chaos, any energy that no longer serves you. With each inhale, breathe space, breathe fresh energy and awakening. As you exhale, just release that energy that no longer serves you. Relaxing your whole body, taking a scan and noticing those areas that may still be holding tension or tightness. And again, with your breath, breathe in some fresh space, breathe in some fresh energy into that area. As you exhale, just release that negative energy, that tension, that tightness. Feel a little bit more grounded into the earth. As you begin to take that next inhale, start to breathe in the sense of awakening into your body, preparing you for whatever is after this class, whether it's the next hour, the rest of the day, or weekend, or week, or next 30 minutes. Just breathe in some energy and some awareness that you can do it. Maybe you physically bring this energy into your body by wiggling the fingers or wiggling the toes. Maybe you rock your head right and left. Try
Trying to keep your eyes still closed as you bring some awakening back into the body, maybe reaching your arms out and legs out, full body stretch. Find whatever movement here that works for you, maybe hugging the knees in, to waken up back into the body. And then when you're ready, make your way onto your favorite side, rolling, using your arm as a pillow, and tucking those knees slightly in, finding your fetal position. Taking this moment to once again honor this time that you spent on your mat, whatever that looked like today. Let's gently press on up into an easy seat, crisscrossing those legs if that feels comfortable, or maybe finding that butterfly seat, soles of the feet to touch, knees out wide. Bring the palms to stop on top of your heart, or maybe find a palms prayer center if that resonates. Let's close out with some breath here as we inhale, breathing in that intention that we set. Maybe we learn something new throughout our practice, something as simple as breath. And on your exhale, release it, surrender to it. Release any other expectation you may hold for how it may serve you the rest of today. Inhale once more, breathing in that intention, feeling it within your body, and exhale. Just release it, let it go, let it serve you. One more silent breath to seal your practice. Inhale, and exhale. May this yoga practice open and strengthen your mind and heart. May this yoga practice open and strengthen your mind and heart. The divine light that resides in each one of you, I see it as it also resides within me, and I humbly bow to it, the uniqueness that is you and your practice. Thank you so much for being here today. It was such a pleasure to guide you. Namaste.